Dan saya Syafzan Johari, ini agenda Awani. Malam ini kita cakap mengenai Global Economic Symposium 2014 di mana ini merupakan salah satu acara yang dianjurkan, salah satu simposium yang bakal dianjurkan oleh Universiti Teknologi MARA, universiti saya tu. Dan bagi membincangkan mengenai topik atau isu pada malam ini, kita ada Profesor Dennis J. Snower, iaitu Presiden KL Institute for the World Economy, dan juga Profesor Dr. Azni Zin Ahmad, Timbalan Naib Chancellor Akademik dan Antarabangsa UiTM, dan beliau juga pengerusi Global Economic Symposium 2014. Selamat datang. Thank you very much. Welcome to Awani. Alright, dan dengan itu saya minta izin untuk bertutur dalam bahasa Inggeris. Okay, first and foremost, we talk about this event, and the main idea or the main theme is restructuring economies and transforming societies. And when we talk about societies and social and political and economy, these are all connected, right? So I believe these are the main thing that you want to talk about. And since Professor Snower, you are working in German, so I want to start this conversation with the German team in the World Cup. So where you have the German team, they are all represented, represented by all ethnicity who are residing in German. You have the German, you have the Central Asian, who are the we call the citizens of Germany. You have what else? Arabs, African. So basically, learning from Germany is what we can learn is that how the manager has able to garner the expertise from different ethnicity to build up a very great team. So how we can learn from this?
This is a perfect analogy to the Global Economic Symposium, because the Global Economic Symposium deals with big global problems like financial crises, immigrants, middle income trap, growth, innovation that affects many countries. And no country can do it by themselves. And so we bring together people from different countries, different cultures, and different professions to deal with solutions to problems that we all share. And in bringing people together, they learn that they have more in common than divides them. And so we make a contribution to global problem solving.
Among the global problems that we are facing now, especially in Malaysia and other parts of the world, especially besides Malaysia, other developing countries also facing problems with immigrants, managing immigrants. So if you take Germany, as for example, and how it has able to manage the population, manage the immigrant, and how the social engineering had been tailored to basically to improve and benefit the country itself. So will this be among the topics?
That is one of the critical insights of the symposium, that if you don't have a harmonious society, you cannot have a harmonious economy. And at the Global Economic Symposium, there will be sessions on how to bring people together and how to create complementarities between different social groups and help them work together. Also, for example, we're looking at the issue of talent creation across countries. How, when you bring immigrants into the country, can you benefit the immigrants, the source country, and the receiving country? These are all problems that the Global Economic Symposium will address.
Especially countries like EU, as German, who is also a member of EU, where the cross-border talent is very, what we call, swift. It's very easy for one person to go to German and work. So, and in Malaysia, we're going to implement, inshallah, same thing through the Asia Economic Community. Well, I'm not sure how it is going to be done, but addressing the issues. What are the other issues going to be raised during the event?
Thank you, Harold. Before that, I would like to say thank you very much for Kiel University to have agreed to work with UITM in solving world problems. So that's one way of putting our university and the country in the limelight of the world, that we want to say that we are here to help solve the global problems. And to answer to that question, will there be any other topics raised apart from immigration, social problems? We'll be talking about climate, energy, banking, finance, poverty, a lot of issues that affects society. So it's not just about economy alone, it's other factors that can affect the economy. Once the economy is in place, many things can be solved.
All right. And the event is going to be held for 2 days in Kuala Lumpur.
It's from 6th to 8th of September at the Shangri-La Hotel,
3
Kuala
days,
Lumpur.
yeah. So basically, do we have enough time to conclude everything and to discuss and solve everything, to come up with solutions?
Okay, this is the 7th conference being organized together with Kiel, and our team has witnessed and seen and also participated in the last GS in Germany, and they've done it. So we learned from them, and we are going to emulate and maybe make it even better than the other GS.
And
so,
the way
yes,
it works is that people from different countries and cultures all submit their ideas and solution proposals and their analyses long before the conference.
I see.
And then there's a debate before the conference, so that by the time you come to the conference, you have much more mature ideas.
So the participants must prepare themselves.
right.
Yes, it's just a one-page abstract, and everybody will know what the other person is going to talk about. So this is quite different from other symposia that we are accustomed to. This is, the format is forum style. So every session there'll be about 3 or 4 speakers discussing about certain issues, and at the end of it, we hope to have a solution to an issue.
How different is this to, for instance, let's say the World Economic Forum?
I think it is, the difference is that this is not a discussion forum. It's a solution forum. If you have analyses, you contribute it on the website. But in terms, all that's debated there are solutions to big problems. And many of these problems are relevant to Malaysia. Like, will Malaysia succeed in becoming a fully developed, rich country along with the rest? Those are problems of innovation and growth. How will Malaysia husband its energy supplies and natural resources? That's a global problem, and learning from one another is one thing that you do at the symposium, and it also helps you anticipate what will come in the future. Will we continue to grow fast or slow will be discussed at the symposium.
All right, we're going to take a very short break, and we'll come back later. And we'll be talking about the UITM internalization and how would this event contribute to that. Jumpa lagi selepas ini. Bertemu lagi dalam agenda Awani, masih bincangkan mengenai Global Economic Symposium 2014 bersama dengan Presiden KL University for the World Economy, Profesor Dennis J. Snower dan juga Timbalan Naib Chancellor Akademik dan Antarabangsa UiTM dan beliau juga pengurus CGS, Profesor Dr. Aznizin Ahmad. Alright, earlier on we were talking about internalization efforts of UiTM, where we want to contribute. The university would like to contribute, and of course, the students and alumni would like to contribute.
Yes, of course.
To contribute to the world, actually, because UiTM, as the biggest university, we have range of faculties. So, how do you see this as an impetus to to raise the level or raise the bar for internationalization?
Okay, this symposium is part of the effort of this university in the internationalization process. The bilateral ties that we have with Kiel, for example, is a start. And when we recognize Kiel as an organization that not only works for Germany, but it works for many parts of the world.
For the rest of the world.
Yes, for the rest of the world, in fact. And we decided that we want to work with Kiel so that we have access to many of the experts in the world, the business people, the researchers, the Nobel laureates, and bring them over to this side of the world. And when we would like to be at the forefront of this effort, because we would like to show that we are a university that has the experts that can bring their partners over to the country and not only help in terms of educating the bottom billion or educating the underprivileged, but we are also active in terms of working with the government, with the industry, with the companies, with the business people. And we're not just an ivory tower. We are working closely with society, and we want to play a big role and helping Malaysia to be up there, to be recognized in the world as well. And we are working also with international media, for example, working with Bloomberg to cover the conference. So we hope to have an international image that will be brought from
presence.
this international presence in the with GS. And it's not just the participants will not be just Malaysians or Germans. It's from people from all over the world.
Who do we expect?
Prof. Dennis will be bringing over a lot of at least four Nobel laureates.
We will have Nobel laureates. We have ministers,
policymakers,
and senior business people, CEOs of many different. So it's not just from Malaysia that you've got Khazanah and Petronas and Maybank, but you have the CEO of Boston Consulting will be there. The CEO of Towers Watson will be there. It will be a very important gathering of leaders from business, politics, academia, and civil society at the highest level in order to bring all these insights and brain power to bear on well-defined problems that we will try to offer solution proposals to.
Well, basically, this is the 7th GES, and this is the first time that we're going to have GES in this part of the world. First time in Asia. Right. So, how important is Asia to institutions like yours, especially Malaysia?
The Global Economic Symposium is global. And obviously, we are interested in including Asia in our societies. Malaysia is a very interesting country, and that's why we chose Malaysia, because it has different ethnic groups that need to live together in order to succeed. It is in the center of Asia. It is a rapidly developing economy that is trying to become a developed economy. So it has lots of opportunities, and it has dealt with lots of challenges successfully. And therefore, it has the right to become a central element in our global problem-solving effort.
So what are the things that will be discussed and it will be that will be relevant most to Malaysians from your point of view?
Well, from my point of view, the question, will Malaysia manage to become a developed economy, avoid the middle income trap, and move from growing rapidly by being more efficient and producing goods that are already well known to becoming a force for innovation, and thereby rising up the ladder in terms of producing good jobs and innovative products. How do you do that? That's one of the issues, for example, that is global in nature. Malaysia cannot do this alone, but is relevant for Malaysia.
And Professor Snow did mention about the guests or the participants who are basically the CEOs of the world, you know, the CEO of big corporations,
Yes.
the corporations of the world. So basically, how would UITM tap from this expertise? You know, they will come to Malaysia, the presidents and the leaders of the leaders of nation, leaders of big corporation. So how are we gonna use them? You know,
Take advantage of this situation. Yeah, very nice. Although we are an educational institute, as I said, we have a role to play in bringing people together. UITM has experts that have linkages and networking with the business people in Malaysia. So our role is to be the middleman between KEEL and the industries, the key policymakers, the CEOs together. And what we will take advantage of that is the knowledge produced from the symposium, where it will be published in books like this, and we will learn from the proposals that we will get from the discussions. So as Professor Snow was saying, it's not just about a talk show. It's about producing solutions to problems, ideas, innovations that we can learn from. So it's a knowledge transfer process. And this is what we should take advantage of. And we are bringing in our postgraduate students to come in and listen in and participate in the discussions. There'll be quite a few activities going on. For example, hacking is a professional hacking activity where students will be doing some data mining, analysis, getting information from the internet, from the background of the companies that are coming to participate in the conference, and try to come up with a solution to the problems that they may derive from that research.
Professor, now the issue now is, as you say, the knowledge transfer process, but how are we going to trickle down whatever been discussed and to what I call revive it in our classes, in the whole faculties and whole campuses throughout the nation? We have so many campuses, and how we're going to use this knowledge in benefiting our students. We have 200,000, almost 200 students all around Malaysia, right? We're going to talk about this later. Kita akan jumpa lagi selepas ni. Masih lagi bersama saya, Chef Zanjari, dalam agenda Awani. Kita masih bercakap mengenai Global Economic Symposium 2014. Okay, now the challenge is, now you have the symposium and you well documented, and the challenge is to trickle down all the knowledge throughout the campuses. Well, UITM is such a large university. We have almost 180,000 students all around Malaysia. So now the challenge is how to make whatever we achieve, whatever we have learned throughout the 3 days symposium, and in transferring the real knowledge into classes and all that.
Carol, actually that's a very simple question, because that's our business. Whatever knowledge we get, the skills, the professionalism, is the responsibility of the academic staff to disseminate and to trickle it down to all the students in whatever faculties they are in. The difference between this conference and the rest is it's definitely very unconventional, is that we're bringing together real people from the real industry, real professionals, talking about real issues and real solutions. So instead of the students or the lecturers taking the students out to the industry, we are actually gathering together a group of professionals talking about various issues. There'll be about 41 sessions, various issues, and everyone from any faculty can come and listen in and even participate in the discussions, learn from it, and go home and relate the issues that have been discussed, and they can discuss it with the students. They can emulate the format being used in that conference in the classroom. So it's very unconventional, and I think that's a very good learning experience.
That's right. And one thing that people have increasingly found is that it is so exciting to be in this symposium because you meet face to face all these important business leaders and politicians, big top academics, and you can talk to them informally and engage in a problem-solving effort together. And you feel the electricity in the air. And people come by energized and then are much better able to connect with important people, having met them informally in the symposium.
And would the students have active participation? You mentioned earlier the graduates, postgraduate students.
Postgraduate students.
But how about the undergraduates, who are basically the majority?
The undergraduates, they may not be able to participate at very high level. This is very high level. They may not have the maturity and the knowledge to do so. But what we can do are those who attend the conference can bring back to the classroom and they can discuss these issues at a lower level to the students, simplify it and educate them in that manner. So there are ways and means of teaching nowadays. So the most important thing is having all these big guns in 3 days, which you cannot get anywhere else. And they come from various backgrounds and industries.
And they're looking at the big problems. That is, what is going to be the future of energy? What are going to be the jobs of the future?
Something that is still art for them.
Yes, and how does education work? How can you make education relevant for business? How do you get different business people to match their interests with one another in order to solve parts of bigger global problems? All issues to be discussed here.
And it's also very unconventional to have a university to have this kind of conversation.
Yes.
Because previously been done by corporations and all that.
Exactly. May I? The conventional conference is one specific area and a very specific audience. But in this case, it's when you talk about global issues, it's not just in one area or discipline. It is interconnected, interrelated, and multidisciplinary. So when you see when somebody comes up with an issue, you can see it's a financial issue, it's an economic issue, it's an environment issue, it's a climate issue, it's an energy issue, it's a poverty issue. It covers many areas. So we need many experts to provide solutions to maybe just one issue. So this is a platform which is very unique, I would say.
Thank you very much, Professor Dennis J. Snower, President of Kiel Institute of the World Economy, and Professor Dr. Azni Zain Ahmad, Timbalan Naib Chancellor, Akademik dan Antarabangsa UiTM, yang juga pengerusi Global Economic Symposium 2014 dan GES 2014 akan diadakan pada 6 September hingga 8 September di Ibu Negara. Dan sebarang kata maklumat langsung boleh ke laman web UiTM. Tentunya ada di sana, dan anda juga boleh berinteraksi bersama kami di platform-platform yang tertera. Sekian saja, saya Syafzan Johari. Assalamualaikum. Selamat. Thank you very much.
Okay.